Alright, so it's pitch black out, dead quiet, but this baboon is on the move, tiptoeing like he's trying not to wake the parents. Up ahead is a whole clan of hyenas, snoozing in a big old puppy pile next to their den. Rule number 1 out here, be cautious. Survival is all about not making dumb moves. Still, he pushes forward, pulled in by a smell that's just too good to ignore. It's a faint, warm scent, basically screaming, "Nobody's watching me." Yeah, vulnerability has a distinct perfume in the wild. Every property line out here has a no trespassing sign, but sometimes your nose overrules your brain, turning a terrible idea into a tempting whisper. So the baboon follows, stopping every few feet, head on a swivel, basically trying to hear danger before it hears him. He locks his eyes on the sleeping hyenas, giving them a long, hard stare, trying to figure out if their time's really times asleep or just faking it. In moments like these, it feels like the whole world is holding its breath. Every animal out here is walking a tightrope between a full belly and becoming someone else's dinner. And the smart ones know the dark is basically a giant surprise party waiting to happen. Music. And then the baboon spots it, the jackpot. The one thing that made this whole sketchy trip worth it. For now, he's just on the edge of the danger zone. An unguarded den. You don't see that every night. With a careful hand, he lifts a tiny, warm newborn. But the second he does, a sharp little cry rips through the air, and the whole clan jolts awake. That sound cuts through the night like a car alarm nobody can find the key for. The hyenas are up, looking around like, did someone just order a late-night snack and not share? The baboon clutches the cub to his chest, cradling it like he's its dad, and ducks behind some tall grass to hide. But you can't fool a hyena's nose. And suddenly, the thrill of the chase is on. The moment the baboon makes a run for it, the entire clan springs into action as one. You don't just walk onto their lawn and take a souvenir, and whoops, there goes the prize, dropped on the ground. All that effort gone in a flash. The hyenas descend on him with all the subtlety of a monster truck rally. But this guy's no pushover. He meets every attack with a desperate twist and a whole lot of you picked the wrong primate energy. It's pure chaos, a furry tornado of teeth and attitude, because both sides are packing some serious power. The wild has a way of equipping every creature for its own brand of mayhem. A baboon on the defense is a force to be reckoned with, built like a little linebacker. One good lunge can send an attacker stumbling back, wondering what just hit them. He tries one escape route, then another, but every path is blocked by a pair of glowing, unamused eyes. Yeah, there's no way out. Every exit is sealed by a wall of professional pack hunters, making the night feel like it's shrinking around him. For the baboon, every move is a masterclass in precision, the kind of reflexes you only get from a lifetime of near misses. And in this brutal circle, he's a blur of motion where anyone else would have already been a chew toy. He's a testament to the art of defiance. The baboon dodges one bite, but you can only juke so many jaws before the math catches up with you. Music. And with his last ounce of energy, he lands one final epic take that. A last act of rebellion. The bill for trespassing comes due, and it is steep. That's what you get for not just crossing the line, but trying to steal the landlord's kid. And above all this drama, totally untouched and unimpressed, the night sky is just there. The moon hangs overhead, cold and indifferent to the whole mess. Morning, out here, is more of a suggestion than a guarantee. In that first golden light, the other baboons start to stir in their treetop penthouses, stretching after a long night of being safely out of reach. The roost trees practically start raining baboons as the troops head out for the day. Some get right to the breakfast buffet. Others get into some serious cuddle puddles. It's how they say, "I got your back" without a single word. Some give their full attention to the little ones. In baboon society, it takes a village and many hands to raise one infant. Others just turn to the sun, letting the light bake their scars back into their brown fur. With their eyes half closed, they let the night's chill steam off their coats like it's a day spa, but with more bugs. The security detail is the first to clock in, reading the wind and scanning the horizon for any funny business. Then the whole troop starts to loosen up, and the quiet social hour begins. A little physical contact goes a long way to calm everyone's nerves. The yearlings start practicing their parkour on tree trunks, getting their grip game strong. They're just rehearsing the climbs that'll save their butts when the sun goes down again. On the ground, the youngsters are playing games that look like a mix of tag and wrestling, sharpening their skills without anyone getting seriously hurt. Meanwhile, the rest of the troop spreads out like a furry search party, their cheek pouches at the ready, scanning the grass for seeds, bugs, and any fruit that fell overnight. Where the ground gets tough, the baboons get on their knees and start digging for roots with their expert little hands. They know how to make even the leanest patch of dirt give up the goods. Music baboons are basically living in these huge, sprawling communities, with troops of anywhere from 20 to 150 members, all run by the ladies who stick around for life. The kids are always chasing, wrestling, and playing dead, learning the social ladder without any real harm done. When a little squabble starts to get too real, one of the high-ranking females, basically the troop's bouncer, steps in to break it up until everyone cools down. She's the one who keeps the peace, while the adult males patrol the edges of the group, checking IDs and keeping an eye out for threats. They keep the group together with a whole system of sound soft grunts to stay in touch in the tall grass, and sharp barks when danger's on the horizon. The sentinels take turns on lookout duty from a high rock or a branch, scanning the area while everyone else eats. When one hops down, another hops up. It's a seamless system for not getting eaten. You know, in nature, color is rarely just for looks. It's a whole language of warnings, come-ons, and camouflage. Music. A whole entourage of birds, like hornbills and starlings, follows the troop, snagging whatever bugs the baboons stir up. But it's a two-way street. If the birds suddenly go silent or scatter, the baboons know something's up before they can even see it. Harmony out here is just another word for paying attention. Each animal does its job, and they all share intel. The birds get the bugs, and in return, they act as the troop's early warning system and their GPS for finding fruit trees. So the baboons travel with their own built-in alarm and navigation systems. As they flip rocks and dig through leaves, the guinea fowls follow right behind on cleanup duty, feasting on all the exposed insects and seeds. It's the easiest meal they'll get all day. If the baboons find some unripe fruit, they'll eat what they can and drop the rest for the birds below, turning their leftovers into a free meal and keeping the place tidy. The birds are basically promising to help out, but they're not the only ones on the neighborhood watch. The impalas are on patrol too. Their quick snorts and jumpy movements are a dead giveaway that trouble's brewing. The baboons can read those signs like a book. When the herd gets tense, the troop gets together. Of course, sometimes the call is coming from inside the house. Fights inside the troop flare up like a summer thunderstorm. Loud, fast, and dramatic, but they always mean something. They'll argue over food, status, or who gets the best napping spot. And when tempers flare, a baboon fight can go from just noise to actual injuries in a heartbeat. The males are armed with canines nearly as long as a lion's, and they're not afraid to use them. The sound that follows is like thunder made of pure rage, deep barks, screams, and the drumming of feet on the ground. Most of the time, it's just a big show, a way to measure who's going to back down first. But when the bluffing stops, those teeth become serious weapons. capable of leaving scars that serve as a permanent reminder of who's boss. When a fight breaks out, the whole troop feels the tension. Baboons are held together by drama just as much as they are by trust, and a good fight is must-see TV. They all gather around because every squabble is a potential shakeup to the system that keeps them all safe. By watching, every member is taking notes on who stands their ground, who caves, and how the power structure is going to look once the dust settles. Staying in the loop is how you stay alive. Yet even after all that fury, they patch things up. A little quiet grooming, a low grunt, or just sharing a shady spot. Wounds get licked, egos are soothed, and the lesson sinks in. Being tough is one thing, but being a total jerk is bad for everyone. And so, order is restored with a bit of TLC and a very long memory.